What's up? It's the one and only hip hop gamer, aka Mr. Shots Fired, GameStop, Hot 97. This is what it is, man. E3 2015. It's time to talk about it. I've been sitting on a lot of things for a minute. There's a lot of things I know. There's some things I don't know. There's some things that I heard. There's some things that I believe. There's some things I'm not sure of. But we're going to talk about a few things in this video right now. And as you see by the title, get excited. You already know how it goes down when I speak, man. Pay attention. First thing is this, alright? E3 2015. Call of Duty goes to Sony. That's the first thing I want to talk about. Digital game exchanges. That's the second thing I'm going to talk about. And Red Dead is back. That's the third thing I want to discuss. Alright? There's going to be more videos, but we're going to try to cover these three right now. Let's go. So, from what I'm hearing right now, and what I'm hearing is so strong that I'm even willing to boldly confirm. I'm willing to boldly jump out on a limb. If I'm wrong about this, yo, you could leave your comments, curse me out, whatever. Some of y'all be doing that anyway. It is what it is. That's just the nature of the internet. But I'm going to go out on a limb because of the source. This particular source. I'm going to go out on a limb and confirm this and tell y'all this is actually happening. You know, I pray nothing crazy happen and it don't go down. But as of right now, I'm extremely confident in my source and things that I've heard and a little bit of what I've seen, that Sony has acquired Call of Duty in terms of there's some exclusivity there. Now, here's what I've been privileged to in terms of the information I received. Y'all let me know what y'all think, but here's what it is. So, the DLC deal that was once with Microsoft is supposedly with Sony now. I can confirm that. That's the first thing. The second thing I wanted to say, that similar to how the Destiny deal is with PlayStation 4, how we was able to play Destiny first on PlayStation in the alpha form before the beta came out and all this other stuff. That's also what I heard, that I'm willing to confirm that we will well, I'm not sure if it's going to be a public thing, it might be, whatever, but people will be able to play Call of Duty first on PlayStation 4 in terms of multiplayer. And in terms of a release date, I'm hearing that 24 hours ahead of scheduled release date, of the initial release date, if you're a PS4 owner, you'll have access to Call of Duty Black Ops 3 24 hours before Xbox One and you know, PC and stuff like that. So those are the three major things that I've heard. Now, there's something else that I heard, and I don't this is a part of the DLC too, but this is something I think that's going to be a bit different for the Call of Duty world. And I'm assuming this is probably there because of the male-female protagonist that you could choose from in the game, but it's supposed to be an actual story DLC. So this time around, I don't believe it's just going to be map packs. I believe they're going to extend it and give you extensive story DLC and add more legs to the actual Black Ops story. You know what I'm saying? So I thought that would be very, very interesting. And also considering you could play co-op within the story this time around, I think that plays a part of it. I think that multiplayer idea plays a part in extending the story with story DLC. So I thought that'd be great as well. So these are things that I heard that I actually trust. I really hope I'm right about everything I just said, but I had to jump out on a limb because there's been a lot of signs pointing to this anyway. But the information that I got from the source that I got is very, very heavy in the game industry and in a bigger form than just journalism and things like that. It's a huge it's a huge form. That's all I can say. So I'm very excited about this opportunity. Yo, it's crazy. Now, what I want to talk about, based off what I just said, is that if this all comes to fruition and is real, we go to E3 or whatever, and we see this happen, or if Call of Duty appears on Sony's stage, what happens then? Like, you know what I'm saying? How big of an impact will this be for the PlayStation 4 if Call of Duty is more aligned with Sony as opposed to what they were aligned with Microsoft? What does that mean? Now, we do have hints of this in terms of, for instance, you know, during the unveiling of the PlayStation 4 back in 2013, you know, Activision Blizzard came on stage. Blizzard came on stage and they spoke about a strategic ongoing partnership, and Diablo 3 was the first to set it off. And then Activision came on stage and they said some things that was very, very interesting, but also giving you a clue to what we may see in the future in terms of Activision and Sony. And one of the things that they were saying is that the reason why Bungie came on the PlayStation 4 stage and demonstrated Destiny and all this other stuff back in 2013 was because the approach that Sony has taken to the PlayStation 4 has enticed Activision to work with them more deeply. And that was from Eric Hirschberg. Now, what's crazy about that is when you look at the results of how Destiny performed on the PlayStation, with PlayStation leading the way, that alone right there speaks volumes, because Destiny was really truly the first game to kind of, you know, infiltrate what Call of Duty has been dominating in. And even though Battlefield was there, and Battlefield 4, and you know, was good and everything like that, Destiny seemed to be the game to really make people look at another option besides Call of Duty for their multiplayer enjoyment on this big of a scale. You see what I'm saying? And Sony had a big part to do with that, and that's huge. And Activision recognizes that. And not only does money talks, but smart business and smart messaging and the culture and the consumers, that we aren't stupid either, and they see the idea and how big the idea is by working with Sony. And you can't ignore the numbers in terms of what Sony has been able to do out the gate. So all of these things and all of these signs point to that. Another thing I want to talk about is that regarding this situation is that I actually have a few friends that I know that tournament game that's been playing Black Ops 3 on the PlayStation. You know what I'm saying? There's other things I just can't say that I want to, but I gotta leave it at that right now. But I'm very excited, and I want to know what everybody will think if, you know, Activision comes on Sony's stage with Call of Duty and announce some sort of first exclusive console, you know, positioning and advertising and marketing and all this other stuff with Sony. You know what I'm saying? So I think that will be very, very interesting. So I'm very excited. I think this is going to be big. And I think it's also a step that Sony is trying to prove that, hey, look, we have a lot of first-party games. We've dominated in that area. We have a lot of studios. But in order to exceed what we've once accomplished with the PS2 era, which is still the most sold console to date, we have to make sure we dominate third party and not just first party, and bring that all together with great features at a good price point to be able to not just win, but get back into that place and make history and make a bigger legacy for us. That's the overall goal there, and I know that one for a fact from conversation with certain people. So I just wanted to leave that there and see what y'all thought about that with Sony acquiring Call of Duty. So I'm confirming it, and if it's not true, yo, say what you want, whatever. But I've been right a lot of times before, and this is going to be very exciting. Very, very, very exciting. Okay? So, check that out.